The member from Davenport.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And my question this morning is to the Minister of Housing and Minister responsible for the poverty reduction strategy. And let me just start by congratulating him on his appointment to Cabinet. Speaker, this summer I had the opportunity to talk to my constituents in Davenport about how our government is helping people get ahead in an ever-changing economy. From the many changes to OSAP and providing free tuition for many families across Ontario, to providing to OHIP Plus, which will be providing over 4,400 prescription medications for free to those under 25. I've also talked a lot about rent control, and I heard from families in Davenport that they feel there is a greater sense of stability and fairness in the rental market. Some advocates would like to see the removal of vacancy decontrol, which means when a unit becomes empty, a landlord can increase the rent by whatever they want. Speaker, through you, can the minister explain why the government has not removed vacancy decontrol?
Thank you. Minister responsible for poverty reduction strategy.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I want to thank the member from Davenport for the important question. Our policies, like rent control, are designed to create greater fairness and opportunity for the people of Ontario. Thanks to our Fair Housing Plan, all renters, and I repeat, all renters in Ontario now know their rent is not going to increase beyond 2.5%. At the same time, our government understands that if more landlords are participating in the rental housing market, there will be more affordable choices available for tenants. And through our plan, landlords will continue to have the predictability and flexibility to negotiating starting rents based on current market values with new tenants as well as with vacant units. So, Mr. Speaker, we're going to continue to implement our plan, working hard to ensure that the rental system is fair for all Ontarians.
Supplementary.
Thank you, Speaker, and I'm glad the government has listened to the concerns of the people in my riding of Davenport and enacted the Fair Housing Plan to protect renters from across the province from sudden dramatic rent increases. Again, to the Minister of Housing and the Minister responsible for the poverty reduction strategy. Rental and housing prices are rising in centres of prosperity around the world, including the Greater Horseshoe area. One of the primary reasons is because people want to live in great communities like Davenport and Etobicoke Lakeshore. With more than 80,000 people coming to Ontario each year, it's important that we are able to keep up with the growing demand for housing. People in my riding of Davenport want to make sure that we maintain a healthy supply of housing for the people in Ontario. What is this government doing to ensure that Ontario maintains a healthy supply of housing?
Thank you. Minister.
Thank you, Speaker. Our government, under the leadership of Premier Wynne, is committed to making it easier for the people of Ontario to buy or rent a home. Our plan is to increase supply and rein in speculation. It's about creating stability in the market and addressing affordability. It's exactly for that reason that our Fair Housing Plan contains a $125 million program to help stimulate more rental housing. Wow. It's why we're freeing up provincial lands to develop up to 2,000 new units of housing. Wow. It's why we've created a dedicated housing development group to improve planning timelines and cut red tape and get shovels in the ground. And it's why we're working with our municipal partners to get secondary suites on the market as quickly as possible. Mr. Speaker, our government, unlike the Conservatives, supports housing in Ontario, supports social housing, affordable housing, and market housing, and will work to